Republican donor Sheldon Adelson has given the Democratic House, he has given Republicans in the House $30 million to defeat Democrats in the midterm election. So Sheldon Adelson, Republican donor, has given $30 million to protect the House majority. Republicans are shaking in their boots. They're realizing that some of the districts that Trump won easily are now flipping. And so Adelson has increased the amount of money that he has given them, and he has given them the money much earlier in this election cycle compared to previous election cycles. So let's break down the numbers. The $30 million contribution is 3 times as much as Adelson gave to CLF, that is the Congressional Leadership Fund, in 2016. And the cash comes much earlier in the cycle. In 2016, he actually gave the CLF $10 million in August as a campaign headed into the home stretch. But we now know that he has given $30 million this week, and we're in May. So
there's 2 components of this that are important. One is, as usual, the legalized bribery, and 2 is why in this particular case he paid this particular legal bribe. So in terms of the bribery that Adelson does of all these Republican politicians, as you guys know, because of Citizens United, it's legal in this country to simply pay off politicians. You just give it to their PACs, as he does here in the Congressional Leadership Fund, and you can give unlimited money. So Adelson, back in 2012, spent $150 million to try to defeat President Obama and Democrats. Now, in the case of Obama, he was unsuccessful, but he spent $150 million. He spent $15 million on Newt Gingrich's campaign, then $20 million on Mitt Romney, and then he poured so much more into the other Republican coffers. And then, other than the ones that were stated, then there was the PAC money that Huffington Post showed in a report that they did, et cetera. So then, for Donald Trump in 2016, he gave well over $20 million. All this is legal. I mean, this is when someone gives someone $20 million, what do you think happens? You think they go, yeah, no, that's okay. I'm not gonna do what you asked me. And by the way, I'm gonna run for re-election, but I don't care about the $20 million, and I wouldn't want the $20 million next time. No, every American knows that you pay the $20 million to get them to do what you want. So all of our politicians are systemically corrupt. So whether it's the Democrats that take that corporate donor money and the billionaire donor money, or in this case, the wholesale Republican Party. So why this particular bribe at this particular time? Well, Donald Trump just ripped up the deal with Iran. Sheldon Adelson is very clear. He supports the right-wing government of Israel, and he wants Trump to do whatever he tells him to do. So after giving him over $20 million, before Donald Trump took office, Adelson met with Donald Trump, and then he bragged afterwards that, he's gonna move the embassy to Jerusalem, just like I told him. And guess what Donald Trump did when he became president? He moved the US embassy to Jerusalem, just like he promised the guy who gave him over $20 million. You think he did that for you or to keep a campaign promise to Americans? You care about where the embassies are? Maybe some evangelical Christians care and it's some right-wing zealots care, but overall, most of the voters don't care about that. But Adelson, who's got the money, cares about that. Adelson wanted Trump to rip up the deal and the Republicans to rip up the deal. They rip up the deal with Iran, so make it more likely to go to war. And Adelson goes, good boy, Republicans. Way to do as you're told. Here's another $30 million. This corruption is wide out in the open. They have made America, and it's the Supreme Court and these corrupt political parties have made America, unfortunately, among the most corrupt countries in the whole world. And the reason for that is we legalized corruption.
Yes.
And they brag about it.
And what few laws we do have to help mitigate corruption, which, by the way, very few laws, they're incredibly weak. So I'll give you an example. I found this part of the story so fascinating. So Paul Ryan goes to Vegas and meets with Adelson at the Venetian, okay? Now, of course, Adelson owns the Venetian. He's this huge casino mogul. And there are other political aides there. For instance, Ryan went there with one of his political aides. And then there was a former senator in the room as well, former Minnesota Senator Norm Coleman. Now, as an elected official, Paul Ryan cannot solicit a 7-figure donation, right? And so he left the room, and former Senator Coleman basically made the case for this giant donation.
In a sense, it's worse than that.
Yeah.
Paul Ryan comes in and says, yes, we'll do whatever you say, Mr. Adelson. Yes, sir, I'm your water boy, I'm your errand boy. Paul Ryan. He's the smart guy for the Republicans that knows policy? No, he's the most corrupt Republican there is in the House. He raised the most amount of money. That's why he's the Speaker of the House. How does he raise money? He goes to billionaires like Adelson and says, how would you like me to hijack the American government and make sure that it serves you instead of the 300 million Americans? And then he goes down, technically, I can't take the money. So I'm gonna step outside for a second. And then Coleman says, okay, make the check out to the Congressional Leadership Fund for $30 million. Adelson goes, oh, Paul Ryan is out of the room. Okay, here is the check. This is the corruption we have in America. It's sick. I actually interviewed Bernie Sanders earlier today about this. That interview is up on youtube.com/TYT, and we'll put the link down below in the description box for you guys. And I asked him about this issue, and he said it's totally unacceptable, and that Adelson's purposes are, quote, nefarious. And they are, and they're brazen about it. And the last piece for you guys, Adelson has several different interests. In the case of the deal with Iran that they just ripped up, he is a right-winger both in the US and in Israel, supports Netanyahu and their drive for war. There are great groups in America like J Street who represent left-wing Israeli politics, and they are not for war. But Adelson is not in that, he's in the right-wing group. So that's the thing that got him to give the $30 million check now. But he's given, as I told you, hundreds of millions of dollars before. Because his other interests are bust unions who work for him so that he can make sure that he pays his workers as little as possible. He's the 14th richest man in America, in the world, maybe, I think. He has over $20 billion. But don't you dare try to make a nickel above minimum wage if you work for Sheldon Adelson. He will crush you, right? And then one other thing, what does he want? Tax cuts. So he just got giant tax cuts.
Yep.
You know how much his company recorded in income tax windfall from these tax cuts in the last quarter? $670 million. I'm gonna repeat, that was just in the first quarter of the year. That means Adelson's company is gonna make $2.5 billion more because of Trump and Paul Ryan's tax cuts. So the $30 million that they give back to the Republicans is nothing in comparison. He can give that over and over and over again. They just robbed you of $2.5 billion for Adelson's company alone, for just one company. So for them to be able to bribe the politicians back with $30 million, it's a wonderful investment. And the cherry on top is war in the Middle East. Our country is run by oligarchs. You must get an amendment to get money out of politics. We've lost our democracy. Grotesque people like Sheldon Adelson run it now. wolf-pac.com. If you don't get the money out, they don't serve us at all. Don't be surprised when we go to more wars, more tax cuts for the rich. That's all we'll ever have because these guys run the place. Two easy ways to follow the Young Turks. One is hit the subscribe button down below. Then you're a TYT subscriber. And second is ring the bell. And when you do that on YouTube, you're notified of our videos.